Good afternoon, readers and writers, and welcome back to English 10 with Miss Grace. Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite reading and writing tools in the whole entire universe, annotating. Okay? How many of y'all have read something for your class and by the end of the page you're like, hold up, wait, what did I just read? I don't understand, I don't care, why is it important? Right? Show of hands. Okay? Me too. I can't tell you the amount of times that I have read stuff over and over and over again, and it still felt like nothing was sticking. Luckily, I learned this little trick that changed everything, okay? Annotating is like having a conversation with the text. Annotating helps keep you awake and focused and actually makes reading like way less boring, trust me. Plus, annotating makes you look like you know what you're doing, and who doesn't want that, right? So what is annotating, okay? Annotating is simply talking to the text. That's the most important thing to keep in mind when we're annotating, right? We're talking to the text. We're asking it questions. We're locating cause and effect. We're locating the big ideas. We're talking with the text, okay? So, as you guys have already been introduced to, the symbols of annotation, okay? This is nothing new for you guys, but we're just going to do a quick review, okay? The 9 symbols that we use regularly, okay? And these should be nothing new to you, but just a quick review. The first symbol that we're going to be using are our hashtags, right? So remember that our hashtags are what we use to locate short and fun summaries to our characters, right? So say I'm reading a text about Mickey Mouse and his endeavor at the dog show, okay? I know that Mickey Mouse is a dog owner because he's taking his dog to the dog show. I know that Mickey Mouse is a mouse, right? I know that Mickey Mouse is famous, right? I know that Mickey Mouse represents Disney, so he's a corporate image, right? These are all my understandings of the character based off the text, okay? So that's something to keep in mind for these hashtags, okay? The next symbol that we're going to use is going to be our beautiful stick man, okay? We are going to use a stick man for any images that pop up into our head, okay? So anytime there's a scene that's like, wow, oh my god, I could totally see that. It's like I'm right there. We're going to go ahead and put this little guy right next to it, okay? So we're going to use that for images, okay? Your next symbol that we're going to use is going to be our beautiful little heart. We are going to go ahead and put a heart next to anything we read as character motivation, okay? Anything that motivates our character to progress the story along or commit the actions that they've committed to, we are going to put a heart next to, okay? The next big symbol, and I know that y'all will know this, especially if you guys are driving at this point, is going to go ahead and be our caution symbol, okay? In annotating, this does not mean to look out for things, okay? This is going to mean areas of conflict, okay? So anytime we see a character in the text running into trouble with another character, experiencing a hardship because of the plot or the themes, we're going to go ahead and put a caution symbol next to it, okay? The next symbol that we're going to use, and again, I am an English teacher, so please forgive my terrible artwork. Okay, that's supposed to be a light bulb. But this is going to be the symbol that you use for your main ideas, right? So as beautiful and smart and talented readers and writers, we know that every text is going to have a main idea, okay? This is what's going to be to connect us to our themes and connect us to all of these other symbols that we're going to talk about, okay? Main idea, super important. The next symbol that we're going to use is our question mark. Question marks are super simple, okay? Anytime you are confused about vocabulary, the language, specifically speaking if it's in another language, or the character motivation, things that are happening in the story, anytime you are confused, you're going to want to put a big fat question mark next to it. Okay? That's an important one to keep in mind. The next symbol that we're going to use is going to be our speech bubble, okay? This is going to represent significant quotes. You are going to put this speech bubble down next to anything that you register as a reader to be significant, whether it connects to the theme, to character motivation, to relationships, anything significant to you as the reader, you are going to put one of these next to, okay? The next symbol, cause and effect. Y'all should know what cause and effect is at this point. If you don't, you should be looking for examples and events in the story that have an effect on other things, right? Cause and effect, very simple. Anything you could see affecting one another, you're going to go ahead and put one of these symbols next to it, okay? And then our final symbol is going to be our thought bubble, okay? It's important to distinguish between the speech bubble and the thought bubble when you are doing your annotating, okay? This is going to be your reactions to the text. So anytime you're like, oh man, that's harsh, I didn't like that, or I love this, you're going to put one of these next to it, okay? This is going to be the synthesis of all your ideas and should really only come towards the end of your annotation, okay? So for today's lesson, we're going to be focused on annotating How to Tame a Wild Tongue by Gloria Anzaldúa, okay? Gloria Anzaldua's words remind us that language isn't just about communication, it's about identity, okay? So annotating a complex text like this will really help us dig into those layers and really understand what is being said, okay? So first things first, you're going to go ahead and write the title of what you're reading up at the top. You're going to go ahead and draw a line vertically and one horizontally. Okay, so that you have 4 equal quadrants on your paper. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and draw another square right in the middle of that one, okay? This is going to be where you put your symbols. So for today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to focus on character descriptions. We're going to focus on imagery that pops up. We're going to focus on questions that arise, and we're going to focus on our ideas of character motivation, okay? So for character depictions, we are going to highlight depictions of people, especially focusing on how Anzaldúa describes herself and others. I want you guys to really think about what these descriptions are trying to reveal about the characters, okay? Visual images. You're going to circle or underline any descriptions that create strong pictures in your mind, right? I want you to keep in mind that these images are often allocated to carry a deeper thematic meaning, okay? Questions. I want you to write down at least 3 questions that you have as you read. Questions are a great way of responding to the text, and they make sure that that information is sticking in your mind, okay? Motivations. Look for what drives the author or the people she describes. Why does she resist? Why do people try to silence her? I need you to write your thoughts here, okay? So, go ahead and pull out your copies of How to Tame a Wild Tongue by Gloria Anzaldúa and go ahead and turn to page 2. I'm going to go ahead and read this paragraph for you, and you guys will go ahead and follow along, and we will locate these symbols, okay? So, we're going to go ahead and open with I remember and close where belong, okay? So, I remember being caught speaking Spanish at recess. That was good for 3 licks of the knuckles with the sharp ruler. I remember being sent to the corner of the classroom for talking back to the Anglo teacher when all I was trying to do was tell her how to pronounce my name. If you want to be American, speak American. If you don't like it, go back to Mexico where you belong. Okay, so first symbol that I'm locating right off the bat, Anglo, right? So we know that our speaker is not Anglo, meaning that she is not American. And I'm going to go ahead and put American in quotes because we'll see that this is up to debate later in the text, okay? Images. 3 licks on the knuckles with the sharp ruler. That, to me, is an incredible image. I'm picturing a girl who is out at recess who gets pulled aside and gets hit over the hand with a ruler just for speaking a different language than English, okay? So I'm going to say 3 licks, right? You don't have to write the whole scene down. I know that 3 licks on the knuckles was a time that I could see an image, okay? Questions. Why were these kids being punished? Why was she being punished? Why did she receive the 3 licks? Why does she need to go back to Mexico if she doesn't speak American, right? So those are 2 questions. Why does she need to go back if she doesn't speak American? Okay? That's a question. I'm wondering about that. Will it be answered? Maybe. We'll see. Next, motivations, right? We understand that language is a huge part of our narrator's identity, right? We can see that because of the Anglo teacher's punishment on her, that keeping her language is such a big part of herself, okay? So we can write that down. So we can talk about how language erasure makes Anzaldúa feel less than, okay? So those are just some brief examples just in this one little paragraph right here, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and try it together. I want you to go ahead and turn to your shoulder partner. I want you to read this next paragraph from I want you to speak English to cut out, and I want you to annotate it, okay? It is important that you find at least 2 for each category, okay? I already gave you 1. The hard work is done, okay? I'm going to go ahead and give you 10 minutes to read this with your partner and locate the symbols, and then we'll go ahead and we'll come back together and we'll discuss, okay? So it's been 10 minutes now. I want us to go ahead and come together and talk about what we highlighted, okay? So do I have any volunteers? Anybody? Okay, so now that we've worked together, I want us to go ahead and work independently to work on the next paragraph. We don't have to worry about going onto page 3. We are literally just going to focus from overcoming the tradition of silence to malcriada, okay? Down here on the bottom page, okay? You are going to go ahead and dig deep. I want you to read it on your own and annotate it using the same categories that you picked in your peer share, okay? All right, it has been 5 minutes. Please be ready to share your favorite annotations. I will be selecting 1 volunteer from each table to give me something to put on our group paper. Great sharing, guys. You guys came up with such interesting character descriptions, images, motivations, and questions. It totally articulates to me that annotating is helping you guys understand this complex text, and I am so thankful for that. As we know, Anzaldúa's essay is filled with rich details and powerful emotions, and annotating helps us uncover those layers in a fashion that is obtainable, okay? So for tonight's homework, continue reading and annotating the next section. I want you guys to look for descriptions, images, questions, and motivations just like we did today, okay? So before you go, I want you to go ahead and pull out your laptops, and we're going to go ahead and do a quick exit ticket on our class Padlet, okay? Before you go, you must write 1 sentence answering this. How do you think language shapes somebody's identity? Okay, I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to do that online on the class Padlet. You must do it prior to leaving class to receive credit for the day. Okay?